What's up, guys? Welcome to our beach house session. This track was called Frisbee, and we're going to play 2 more tracks off of my recent, not so recent Hopecore album. This next one's going to feature Hugo Piper on bass, and it's called Hopecore.
I need to plug in more mics for you guys. So we're gonna have to do blocking and stuff. This is a dynamic mic. What do you call it? Getting the sound set up, everybody. No, it does not. Alright, there we go.
There's only like 4 people left. But
Okay. Oh, I need to, let's see, I need to pop out the chat here. Pop out chat. I'm almost ready.
He might be watching.
I'm still trying to
Can you hear me now, XBN? This is weird. There's a real delay, isn't there? Oh, no. I see what's going on. There. So pretty. Okay. One more thing I have to do, and then I think I'm ready. Okay. You guys want to remain on camera? I'm gonna go. I'll be back in like 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay. You're alive. Yeah, if you guys gossip about me, I'm gonna find out.
Do you think he watches the whole Accordion?
What do you guys
gonna pause it. I think we're good to go live. Let's see if I can get this. I'm gonna pause the music. The beautiful. I should probably be on this side. That's because of the mic.
More awkward logistics.
Okay. All right.
First guests.
But you're my favorite guest. They're not listening. They're not watching. Okay. All right, now we go to this one. You guys are going to be large in the frame now. Voila!
There it is.
Okay, now this is right in front of John's face. Let's move this. All right. Now, it's going to focus on me or you guys. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Live in the studio today, we have John Camel. John, hard to point back. Yeah, thank you. And Jess Corbin. Yeah. Both wonderful, fine accordionists. I'm going to go ahead and start. Let's see. Where's my iPad, guys?
Oh, that iPad.
That's okay.
Oh, it's right here.
All right. Oh, thank you. All right. Welcome. This is the Rising Read live stream. And today we have in-studio guests. My name is Dallas. I do this live stream. I try to do it every Tuesday. This live stream is the special Pride live stream. Yes, and coincidentally, I have Jess and John. The theme of them being here is not necessarily tied into Pride, although, they're definitely Pride supporters. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm an accordion player. I teach accordion, I perform accordion, and I do this live stream most Tuesdays that I can. I'm going to start off the live stream with this little thing that I read. This live stream is pro-accordion, pro-musicians' rights and representation, pro-educators' rights and representation, pro-LGBTQIA+, woo, pro-gender equality, pro-feminist, pro-democracy, and pro-political plurality, pro-immigrant and pro-immigration. We are anti-fascist, anti-white supremacist, anti-war, anti-genocide of the Palestinian people, and anti-Semitism. We're pro-public funding for the arts and lots of other good things. And I say those things because those are my values. And if you're out there and you have those values, it probably feels good to hear somebody else do something you're into and say the things that you feel like are true in the world.
Yes.
So, yes, snaps all around. All right. So, on this live stream, I usually do many different things. Did I pull anything out? Let's do a quick mic check. Let's see. Birdie, can you help us with a mic check? Let's check Jess. She's ready.
This is Jess, and I'm ready.
I'm going to have to get out of the frame for you guys. Yeah.
Now I'm in focus.
All right. So we'll keep our eyes on the chat and see if Birdie can help us out here. How's that? And then Mike, pardon me, John, will you check your mic?
Sure.
Birdie, Mike, check your John.
Mic check. Make sure that you can hear me, Birdie.
You might have to. Who's quiet? Is Jess very quiet? Yeah, probably because you're not even on. We got to give you phantom power. Are you ready?
Phantom power.
All right, let's turn you down all the way. I forgot about phantom power, and you definitely don't want to be in the monitors, so let's take you out of there. Yes, not in the monitors. Yes, in this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Hollow launches here.
Yeah. There we go. That's
okay.
Cool. That's pretty loud.
All right. Good.
Yeah,
all right.
okay.
So now Jess should be plenty
How's that?
loud.
Now can you hear me?
You're right, Bose Kim. Jess's mic was off.
And now I'm back on.
All right.
On.
All right. Now let's check John.
All right,
now John, yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
You're gonna need
okay?
a
You need
lot
to
of
be-
gain.
you need
All
to
right,
be
I'm
right
gonna have a
on
lot
top.
of gain. I'm gonna be right
this
on
is all
top.
the gain I can give you
Right.
because you're coming through the.
Okay, that's it. Right there. I'll talk
The
right
ADAT.
into it.
That's
All
With
right.
the big voice.
Birdie, can you hear John? Okay.
Can you hear me, Birdie? This is it. This is the microphone right here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we'll go forward on that. Okay. It's actually John. John, bring your mic closer to your lips when you speak, but I think yours is on. John is good, Birdie says. Okay.
All right, great.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for the live sound check help. Yeah. So the first thing I want to do is talk about, I just want to show off this thing that I've been working on. And it got a little, not that page. Let's see. All right. So I want to show this, there we go. I've been working on a thing, and I'm just going to show you and not take too much time because I have these wonderful guests in the studio.
But we want to see the thing too.
I'm going to show you.
We do, but
yes.
we're very busy people.
We'll all
Good thing we're
see
all
this
here
thing.
together.
Okay. All right. So now when you go to the blog, let's make sure everybody sees this. Okay. So let's see. Let me adjust this. We can come in to the left and over here like this. Okay. So here's the thing that I'm working on. Okay. So you'll see a globe, and it says drag to spin, scroll to zoom, pick a pen. Okay, so I'm combining a few different things. I had started a registry of okay. So wait, take a step back. It's been my dream to have like a news segment of global accordion news. And with AI, I can get it to scrape sources in all the languages that I don't speak that I want to know about. And also one of the themes of this live stream has been to look at accordion culture, accordion music in different cultures around the world, which, to be honest, I think is a very beautiful and compassionate way to do life. You know, is to look and kind of the subtext of what I'm feeling in these exploring other cultures is like, look, there's an accordion player just like you and me, and you know, maybe in our media where we say, well, we should hate this government or fear this government, but it's like this accordion player is probably just an accordion player like you and me, and we should have compassion and kindness, and we should care about them and not want to bomb them or anything horrible. Anyway, that's kind of like the grand subtext of this thing, but it's also really neat. So all of the blue things, which it's calling cyan, are events. And this is going to continue to be updated. So I have just kind of begun this prototype, but when you hover over things, we see the 2026 Leavenworth Accordion Celebration, which is happening this weekend. That should obviously be changed. And then I don't have it yet to click through and get an article, but it will. And so as this gets populated more and more, an accordion player could find sort of learning events in blue or in the places in the world that they live. So right now, I just began this, so I will be scraping in all these other locations. Also, we have news items like this one. Let's see, there are 5 news items here. This is still getting built, but placed in different places around the world where they're happening. So let's see. You've got this. Let's read the full story. So then it takes us to the blog. It shows us the news pin, the pin on the world. So this is the thing. I'm going to wrap this up, but this is the globe.
That is really cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It really is.
That really is something.
Is the one up in North America in the eastern side, is that Jess and me appearing on there?
It
That one.
should be. This looks like it's in Canada.
That's
This is the
not
great
us?
idea. It should be.
Oh, you didn't scrape it enough.
I didn't
You got to
scrape it
scrape it a little more
that's
deeply to find us.
It's because I announced this about 3 hours ago, and the scraper went on this morning.
Oh.
But yeah.
So
but
tomorrow's scraper should have it.
Tomorrow's
Oh
scraper.
my
What's
God,
this
it's gonna be
one?
all over
Did you know about this? Way up here? This Maritime Culture and Music Festival at Bicentennial Park on the Miramichi waterfront in New Brunswick. Isn't that cool?
Very
Wow.
cool.
So this will stay tuned for a lot more stuff. Also on the same page. Yeah, I'm starting to have my my news feature, my news scraper go on. So I think that's cool.
Real
I have
cool.
big plans for this thing. I think it's
Isn't
really
the
neat.
Accordion, like that's really related to Cajun, right? That's where
Well,
Cajun came from.
they actually came from France to Canada,
Yeah.
and then as I know it, so they came from France to Canada, and they were the Acadians, and it was like one of the religious utopian societies
Right.
that came to the New World, and then. At that time, France controlled Canada, and then that changed to where the British controlled Canada, and they said, okay, Acadians, bend your knee to the King of England, or GTFO. And they said, okay, well, we're going to
out.
go down
Yeah.
to the next place that France controls.
Mm-hmm, the Louisiana.
That's right, yeah. So that's what happened. Yeah, kind of
And
neat.
It got switched to Cajun.
It got switched to Cajun, exactly.
Cajun.
Acadian became
Yeah.
Cajun. I know, Phil Piety, I know. I am going to have South African accordion happenings going on. It's just, this is the initial launch, and then I'm going to build more and more sources.
That's
for
really
this.
cool, Dallas.
Yeah,
I
it is.
think that is amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. It's very fun.
We need to
Okay.
get that word out.
I
Get the
know.
word out.
I know. At this point, it's definitely like a vanity project, but I think it could be cool and
That's
useful for
very
a lot of
cool,
people.
yeah, I think so.
I built one for arts in the Lehigh Valley that I need to share
Oh,
with you
really?
guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can always find something to do when I want to go out. All right, we're going to get large again. Okay, so that's it for today's news, and hopefully by next week, the news desk will be fully running. Let's frame this a little better. Voila. There we go. Okay, so I'm in studio with Jess and John. And I know them both through Accordion. They're both wonderful accordion players. And the three of us were at the first week of CNIMA together. So I thought that might be a nice thing to discuss. You all might remember John as a guest right after CNIMA because he came to pick up his accordion that I had taken down in my car because I drove. And I brought Jess's accordion. So they stopped by my apartment and my house and studio today to kind of hang out. And we jammed. We just jammed with a whole bunch of backing tracks. That was really
That was
fun.
really fun.
Fun.
Let's listen to what we did. First we did, we played Monument de Saint-Jean with no backing track, right?
Right.
And then we did Asa Branca, which is a Fajol song with just a few chords, fairly easy melody. And I put on a couple backing tracks on YouTube, and that was really fun. And we have never jammed together before, so that was really cool. Then we put on another Fajol tune. And then we put on a Shoro tune, just one Shoro.
Yeah.
And then we finished with an Irish tune, a reel. And if we had more time, I was going to have us do a whole medley of reels and get into it with what's the frame drum called? The Bagran?
The Boron. Yeah.
Boron backing track. But I think we learned that you put on a backing track like with a good percussion groove, and it is really fun.
Difference.
Makes a
Yeah.
big difference.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
It's all together.
Yeah. What of those tunes that we jammed, you guys? What was your favorite?
I love Irish music, so I think I could play Irish music like all day.
That's cool.
It's really fun. Yeah.
You
I
were
guess 'cause
sight reading a lot of notes quickly.
I think because I'm Irish.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's cool.
I've sung a lot of Irish music, so I think that.
You're familiar with it.
Yeah.
Have you? Yeah, John.
For me, well, I played a couple of Fajos, so that was kind of fun to go back and revisit those. Yeah. That's great.
Cool.
But I feel like it's all related, like so much of the.
Oh yeah.
It's Irish music really finds its way, I feel like, into so many different types of music. There's so many similarities with that. But it also, like, with Indian music, I don't know, music is fun like that.
It is. Something that I've heard about, especially the musics that we played, is that they're very related to German music.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is no surprise for you
Yeah.
to learn that. But like even the Brazilian tunes, both genres, the Fajol and the Choro that we played, are both kind of have roots in American ragtime, but also polka from Germany.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
I mean, how can they not, though? Everything is, you go visit one place, and if you're a musician, there's no way you're not going to be inspired and I don't know, it's not, and influenced by the stuff that you're hearing.
Well, it's kind of also fun because we have the through line of accordion in all these different places and all these different traditions, and all the different ways it's been adopted is fascinating.
Me too. Just giving you more slack here.
There we go.
I had to run a cable.
Lots
Pardon me.
Lots of cables.
Okay, I was stepping on it. I was like, oh, don't do that. Don't step on the cable. Cool. So, and then CNIMA, we were all at CNIMA. Jess, you mentioned that you're busy with the end of your professor, university professor, college professor. So you have not had time in your life because it's the end of the grading period the last week. But I'm curious to do like a little, okay, it's been what, a month since CNIMA now? 4 weeks?
A little over, yeah.
A little bit over.
Yeah.
So how's it been with I don't know, do you remember anything? That's why I feel like it, like every day more and more of the picture disappears, like in Back to the Future or whatever.
Yeah. I tried at the end of it to write down summary. If I'm going to say here's 10 important things for me to remember at the top level, I wrote those down. And
you're so good at learning.
Well,
you are
I'm good at the one thing I'm really good at is compensating for a bad memory. So I've learned to document everything.
Cognitive offload.
So right, I did, and I wrote down that list, and that's been helpful. I'll go back and consult it, and I just actually was just yesterday playing the piece that I really focused on there, and trying to say how much of that can I recreate now?
Yes.
It's, as you said, it gets a little fuzzy. Any of these camps or at schools or anything that you could do, it gets a little fuzzier. But it was fun to revisit and try to remember it all.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think for me, I had a few lessons after, because I've
Oh,
taken
good.
lessons
Yeah,
with
online.
Online.
Yeah.
All this
on
whole
Skype.
year.
Yeah.
And so I had a couple of lessons after CNIMA.
Smart. That's so smart.
At the end of May.
Yeah.
So that was really good, and I started working on a new piece, but I think that's not the one I'm going to keep working on, because and I just got sent a bunch of pieces, because my focus is more classical music. So it was interesting for me at CNIMA, though, because we did a lot of jazz stuff. in our group.
In our course collective.
Yeah,
The group class with Jack.
Which, because most of the people in there were jazz players, and I'm not. So that was kind of interesting for me to sort of
swing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
because he has different rules also with swing, sort of logical.
But the thing about the syncope is also used in the classical. So it's an interesting like technique, that he has. It's applicable to a lot of different kinds of music. So, but that was really good, and it wasn't what I was expecting. So that was good, and I'm finding myself actually playing through some of the jazz things that we did, much to my own chagrin, because I'm like, I am not a jazz player, and then I'm like, oh, but that was fun. So yeah.
I think in that context, jazz means just sort of repertoire that has a swing feeling to it, Whereas in the U.S., I think jazz really means like the whole
and which is why I stay away from it, because especially as my piano's my primary instrument, so. I'm like, I'm not a jazz pianist.
It's not your tradition.
That's a whole different. I feel like it's almost just a whole different instrument than playing classical or musical theater, which I do a lot of.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah. Cool. John, you've done jazz piano or just jazz clarinet?
No. Well, yeah, I studied both.
Both.
Yeah. And so it's fun to have one genre that you go onto different instruments with over time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you and I have talked about it, especially with bellows and breadth of bellows, the importance of having a strong air basis underneath all your playing was just like you and I both have studied clarinet, and it's just like clarinet in that way, and it's just like singing too, which I also studied. So yeah, it's fun to watch those through lines too.
Yeah, breath or a clarinet combined with a keyboard or like a piano. Yeah,
exactly.
It's kind of
just a different button letting the air out. Yeah.
Yes.
To oversimplify it.
Yeah. And Jess, your two primary instruments are voice and piano, right?
Mm-hmm.
And accordion is kind of like a combination.
Kind of like both, yeah.
Sort of. It draws. It has major elements of both.
Yeah, and having relatively recently come to the accordion, it's but playing the piano for 50 years, it's a lot of touch, and the touch that's so different.
The touch, yeah.
And that's been something I've really been working on, especially with my right hand. It's really hard not to play it like a piano.
Yes, so hard.
But it's very similar to organ, like pipe organ, which I studied very briefly in college. But it's like it is a similar kind of touch to the pipe organ.
And there's so many accordionists that I've spoken with when they ask me about the experience at CNIMA, and just talking about playing on the surface and the different ways of approaching the attack, and the and then withdrawing at the end of the note, that say, oh, I've been playing for 50 years. I've never thought about playing halfway down.
Yes.
And then when you hear the really fabulous players of French and other lots of different types of music, you hear, oh yeah, they're just playing on the surface. And anyway, yeah, and the multiple types of articulation. Most people know legato and staccato, and those are the two articulations. Right?
Yes. Yeah. And those are, who knows if they're creations of Jack, or not, but the whole system is his lines that he's drawn, right?
His non-method.
Yeah, right. His non-method, right? Because an articulation is just essentially when to start and stop a note.
Right.
So that could be anywhere, but he has his preferred, this is the best one, the Luray and stuff. Which he has talked in other camps about how it really is like the process of the competitions of him, the Russians are winning. Well, let me study what they do. Let me really see if I can figure out what they're doing. Oh, I think they're doing this. Teach it to his students, and then they start to win, and then, and then so-and-so is winning. Oh, we need to figure out what they're doing.
Really?
Yeah, that it's this it's kind of competition making things better. Moving the technique forward. Yeah. And I think Kayla told me that she had heard that one of other people, say that one of his strongest gifts or whatever talents is the ability to deconstruct things, that he can look at something someone's doing on the accordion and kind of figure out a way to teach somebody else to do what they do. Which is fascinating.
And but you can also see where Natalie has taken his methods.
Yes.
And she does continue what he's doing, but she also, of course, is a different person, so she's putting her own kind of nuances onto that same method.
Yes.
But it's so, like, I know from studying with both of them and Maxime, who's another teacher there, over this past year, having the 3 different teachers in various times, which is so different. We don't do that here. You know, there's you have one teacher and you stay with that teacher for that whole year or however long. You never have
On your primary instrument,
Yes,
usually.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's been so interesting for me to get the different, just like, and very slightly different, because obviously Natalie and Maxime both have studied with Jacques, so they know his methods, but they're also their own players. And so they come in and can give you and explain it, and just like, it's the same thing, but you're looking at it from over here, or you're looking at it from over here. And it's sometimes that's the little thing that you need to kind of understand where Jacques is coming from. And it's just like having that extra explanation. And I find that such an effective way to learn and to teach.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was hoping we could get that 3rd teacher this year in the U.S. for that reason.
Yeah.
To have, you know.
Yeah, to have the 3.
To have the 3, yeah, especially with the translation. And then also just being over in France, you're around many, many people who are speaking the language better, you know, so you hear it and you just absorb it. Like, it's just like being immersed in a foreign language. It's like, it makes so much more sense when you hear it coming out of everywhere. Yeah.
And I think being there too in France, it's just a different experience too, because the other students are coming at it really from, most of them are French, so they're coming at it from that angle, whereas we're all coming from most of us were American there, I think, right? We were all American, yeah. So, but coming from the East Coast as opposed to the West Coast, we might as well be in 2 different countries. We share a language, but there's a lot of differences, you know, even people in, like, being in the South, it's a different thing in America than everybody being from like a lot of the same regions in France, I think. But I'm not French, so I might be speaking out of turn.
No.
As it seems to us, yeah.
That's just my thing, you know. More people are familiar with accordion in France, I think, than are here in this country, for sure. Yeah.
Sure.
I want to respond to the chat quickly. One of the chats that kind of disappeared was Phil asking. He said, so it's like a cushion. You're riding a cushion of air under your fingers, and yeah, that's what it is, right? Yeah, that's what I would say too. Yeah. For me, I think that it is my actual experience of it is more like telling my right hand to relax or whatever. These days it's relax, but it's more about my right hand, almost like the energy you would have while you're floating in the pool. It's like, okay, you're floating, but you have to try to float. You know, if you don't try to float, you're gonna sink. I think most of us. So it's not like that, but it is in the sense of like, I'm trying to stay buoyant, but it requires a lot of like new effort to not go all the way down to the bottom. Yeah.
And I think what is difficult on a keyboard accordion as opposed to a button accordion, I don't know, I don't play a button accordion, but just from playing the buttons on the left hand, it's easier to conceive of that with buttons because you can very easily see the button just goes up and down.
Yes.
Whereas in the key it goes that way. What's that
It's
called?
a lever.
It's
yeah.
a lever, yeah. Lever. And so it's if you're playing things that require a lot of black keys, you're up higher on the key, and that is really, I find that very difficult to play on the air. Yeah. If you're on the edge, that's fine. That's much easier.
But in that way, we actually have an advantage over the button players, I think, because we can choose sometimes to play right at the very end of the key and therefore have more control. So, but sometimes we can't choose that, as you're saying, if there's a lot of blacks. But thinking about, and I try to think about that, where am I playing in the length of it? Where do I need more control? And that's very helpful.
Yeah, I agree. Something that I think is true for most instruments is also that the button accordion just has deeper travel than almost every piano accordion. So you have a larger target to hit. So if you don't want to go all the way on the button accordion, it's much bigger range compared to it's like double maybe. So it's easier to do that.
Those things play themselves. We're the real accordion players.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
let's
much.
face it. Oh God.
Yeah.
Let me respond to this chat by Ed. So Ed's talking about spurred on by the idea of accordions in every culture. Ed did a search for Iranian accordion players. Yes, Ed, I have done that too recently, especially when the military activities first started, when they bombed the nuclear whatever. Anyways, yes, and Ed found some Iranian accordionists, and also from Azerbaijan, the Garmon. And I have to say, this job puts me in touch more and more with amazing people in the United States and outside the United States. I'm starting a wonderful accordion player in Scotland, which will be fun. But I have a student online who's in Israel, and he was just telling me about his relationship to this exact thing that Ed is mentioning, the Azerbaijani music with the Garmon. And I think it's the Caucasus and maybe not exactly Azerbaijan, but anyways, very fascinating for Ed to bring that up. I feel like synchronicity. Let's take a break and listen to some music, guys. I'll show you. We were listening to Anatole Muster at the beginning, that very cool, like, kind of new fusion music. These are all like the newest things. Speaking of Jacques and Natalie and their tradition, I was just hanging out at Django and June with a wonderful guitarist who knows some. I won't drop too many names because it's sort of, maybe it is true or maybe not. But basically, this other school of learning, which maybe the guy we're about to see, Lionel Suarez, and the great, the great Julian Labreau, studied with another teacher who's not Jacques and Natalie, but just, but I think obviously very related, and still accordion as wind instrument. And to my ears, it sounds like Lionel isn't always playing on the surface, just as a sound. We'll hear this one. It's like turning into a whole kind of jazz big band thing. Do you guys ever play any repeated stuff? That's something that I always think is so cool with European accordion. All kinds of accordion players. All the broken comping you can do across the hands. Almost like the way a guitarist would strum.
I feel like I've done that by accident.
Yeah. So her whole solo was over just the accordion accompaniment. That's cool. It's fun how it builds up and it kind of comes down.
You're right, that whole big band playing off the charts. Everybody's going to play the arrangement as it's set right there.
Yeah.
But the improvisation is it's very much big band.
Yeah. What did you guys think of that?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I love the trumpet. I love the trumpet and the accordion together.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yes.
Yeah.
So these two, Ariel Besson and Lionel Suarez is the name of this accordionist, who it says is also the composer.
And the arranger, yeah. Oh no, the other guys.
Oh,
Del Sasso's
I
the
see,
arranger,
yeah. So Suarez is the composer.
Yeah. And they have duo stuff that they do. Let's see if any of these. Let's see. Here's the other stuff that I have picked out. Not that stuff. Something different. Let's listen to one more. You guys want to hear this? Where is this? This one? That's like I think this is Chamamé.
Sure.
Okay. Or Yannicka. Let me give you some choices. Yannicka, or what could the third one be? A little bit of this bandoneon of Daniel Benelli. Those are your three choices.
Wow. Chamamé.
Chamamé. Okay, here we go. 2 minutes and a half.
Cuando salgo de mi barrio, yo voy cantando, yo voy cantando, yo voy cantando este chamamé a la provincia de mi Santa Fe. Y al llegar hasta tu rancho,
Ed, this is for you.
veo en tus manos,
Ed,
veo en
the
tus
system.
manos
Yeah.
aquel recuerdo
I think that's
que
a
te
diatonic.
regalé,
Got our man in the hat,
aquella
Miguel.
noche que te besé. Mujeres
It's a
lindas
diatonic in the right hand and a full stradella in the left.
pimpollos blancos de mi dulce miel, mirada verde de un campo de esperanza, son el paisaje que siempre adoraré. ¡Que vivan las mujeres de mi Argentina!
Mis ojos se clavaron como un beso en tu mejilla. Este verso es para vos, mi buena mujer argentina.
Las mujeres a mí me miran y yo las miro, y yo las miro, porque son lindas como la flor. Por eso canto con todo mi amor. Quiero brindarles este homenaje a ustedes bellas, son el perfume de mi jardín. Por eso les canto yo desde aquí. Mujeres lindas de mi Argentina, pimpollos blancos de mi dulce piel, mirada verde de un campo de esperanza, son el paisaje que siempre adoraré. Mirada verde de un campo de esperanza, son el paisaje
And he has
que
no steps on,
siempre
right? No steps.
adoraré.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. That's a genre called chamamé from the north of Argentina and the south of Brazil. And what else is there? Paraguay, I think?
Yeah,
Paraguay, yeah.
Yeah.
In the Corrientes region.
I like how they have to have the stools because of the way they hold their accordions.
Yes, so that was going to be my conversation note to you guys after this ended was, what do you think about
I know.
standing like that?
I kind of like it.
You kind of like it?
Do you?
Yeah. If you have to stand for a long time, that would be.
This you would be able to do more of the CNIMA technique
Yes,
like
Yeah.
this.
would.
Yeah.
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 I
well,
know from
like
when I
this
have
guy
to play
the
on
right.
this, when I play on the Santa train and I'm walking, strolling, I would love to stop and put my foot
Uh-huh.
on the stool
Yeah.
and take the weight off my
Yeah,
back.
could you put it up
Yeah.
on a what do you call it?
On a
bench?
seat.
Yeah, on a
but they're
seat.
usually packed with
Oh,
kids.
yeah.
They don't like that.
Yeah, they don't like that. We're trying to sell seats.
But Dallas, you must have played standing up, trying to this idea of putting pressure down and into the fold of the accordion is different.
It
I would
is different,
imagine,
yeah.
if you're sitting versus standing.
Yeah, definitely it is, and I think that you just can't do all their techniques when you're
No.
standing.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a different thing, and I think like the way the accordion player with the bellows up, that makes a lot more sense when you're standing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because otherwise, like it's just like you don't have any like
You have no.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're sitting, right, the left leg is holding at least the bellows, you know.
Right.
And also when you're even if your knees up, if you're standing, your whole I don't know, your top half is higher a little bit, right?
Oh,
'Cause,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, right.
So you don't have the strength, I think,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe it's just like as a woman, I don't feel like I do have as much upper body strength, so I need the help of my legs.
Yes.
Whereas in like if you're standing too, I don't know, you lose sort of all that extra help.
Yeah.
And in the competitions, is everyone always sitting in competitions?
I think
As
so.
I know,
I've seen them,
yes.
yeah.
In the Coupe Mondiale, yeah.
Yeah.
And those, the kind of repertory music, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fun. Should we watch one more?
Sure.
Let's do one more here. How about, you know what? How about this? Okay, Pietro Frosini, Pietro Frosini. Do you guys know Pietro Frosini?
No.
I don't really either. I mean, I know of him. I've never dug his music. He is the music of the Vaudeville-Era, and I think he's one of the early, if not the earliest, like really important concertizing accordion players coming out of vaudeville.
In the U.S.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In the U.S.
But he's Italian.
Italian immigrant. Yeah. Are we going to get video? Oh, this is a little documentary about him, which we don't necessarily need. But just hear a little bit of the real Pietro. Do we have any archival footage? We might have to. Well, okay. Carnival of Venice. Here you go. No video, just a recording.
It's already fun.
And this is it. And this is the music of accordion players who played it, in the 1960s and competed and all that kind of stuff. Alf Hegedal, he's putting out a whole concert. He's really into Frosini and other earlier artists. This is Alf.
Custom accordion.
I know, I was wondering about that too, but one of the texts said a vintage 1930s accordion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just modify it.
I modified to put his name beautifully there. Yeah. So Alpha's wonderful, and he also plays swing in a very trad, like early swing era.
Mhm.
This music does nothing for me. Like a lot of people it does, and it's part of a lot of people's traditions here.
Sure.
But for me, this is this is not my
your cup of
music.
tea.
Not my cup of tea. No.
It's interesting. So I know that's a smaller like body of an accordion than
Yeah.
I have, but like, you know, with us playing, they're very much like you put one here and you have the.
Yes.
It's very different the way he's holding the accordion.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Isn't it fun to see? Like once you're into
It's-
that,
it's
then
really
you start
like,
looking
it's
at
very close
everybody.
to his body.
Yes.
You know, in
Mhm.
terms of being right here, and
Yeah.
it makes you wonder about the whole control thing, how you control the.
Yeah.
But again, it's not a huge accordion though.
No, and these old ones are very light.
Yeah.
There's usually not very much in the basses,
Mhm.
only a few
Mhm.
reed blocks, and so they're much lighter. The whole thing is just a lot
Mhm.
lighter. Yeah, no celluloid, which adds weight. Fun. Okay, let's see one
All
more.
the things I never would have noticed, say 3 years ago.
Let's check out. Let's do. Okay, here, a little bit of this one. So this is Brid, Harper, and Dermot Byrne. From last year, although this was just uploaded, but we'll hear one more, and then I'm gonna ask you guys, what are you up to? What musical projects are you up to?
My chin, a breath.
Let's see.
Anyways, it's great to be here. Thanks very much for that very wonderful introduction there from Paddy. The only part of that that was true is when Dermot can play the accordion inside out and upside down. So it's great to be here, and thanks very much to Paddy and the team for the invitation. And we were just standing down there. It's an awful pity we had to come up here because we were so much enjoying ourselves from the very start of the night down there. So I think all the artists to date deserve a big round of applause. It was absolutely splendid. So we're going to start off with reels that we play quite a lot. The first one in the set is called the Glencolin Killery.
There's a big emphasis on the 2 and 4 and the melody, isn't there? You don't really, and we don't hear any accompaniment really, but it's all there. It's completely danceable. Yeah.
You might have had the percussive stuff in the dancing though, you know, like in the
Right.
feet.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever done any of that kind of
No,
dance?
I've watched it a lot. But I
Have you? The concept kind of blows my mind of just like, let's just 2 people play the melody. No way, that's our concert. Like, you can't do that, can you?
in Ireland. But it does make you want to hear more instruments.
Yes. Yes. All right, kind of
Need a
fade
beat
these. All respect to Brid and Dermot Byrne. Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, me too. I want to hear.
Yeah.
I want to hear that. And my favorite kind of Irish music is the stuff that is more contemporary with the strummy and the sus
But
two.
you can have that stuff in there. I like it when it's combined. You
Yes.
know, when you have the reels and you bring in the old Irish tradition, like those dance traditions, and then you combine it and bring in, you know, the more modern amplified instruments. And yeah, I kind of like that with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like a good fusion.
Little of the old, little of the new. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, I think we can wrap up this first segment. I do want to know if you guys want to share, like, what tunes have you started? What kind of musical projects do you have for the rest of the year, or bigger things, smaller things?
I'll go.
Go.
So I'm home for the summer because I spent half my time in Brooklyn and half my time here in Pennsylvania. And I have already done 2 projects. I've done 2 albums, writing my own songs and producing them and doing all that stuff. And I want to get back to writing because I haven't done much. I've been really busy this past, I think in terms of school years. So this past school year, I've been really busy. I decided to take these year-long accordion lessons, and I also had a big musical that I was working on at my school. So that was a lot of
That's
my
a lot, yeah.
music time, and on top of teaching and being a mom and traveling back and forth. So
Small business owner.
Small business owner.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, local fair, Jim Thorpe's
Oh
great
my
story.
gosh.
So then
Brought to you.
plug. And,
I can pull it up. Here, give me what's it called?
Absolutely. Pull it up.
localfairjt.com. FAIR.
No E.
No E. That's it.
All right.
Look at us. There's our store.
yes.
That's our sign. So this summer I want to get back into writing, and which I've started to do a little bit, and get back into playing some guitar and baritone ukulele, which I also play.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Baritone ukulele is easier than guitar because there's only 4 strings. And so yeah, kind of getting back into that. And then I also I'll be doing a musical again next school year, but I'm going to CNIMA in France in August. So
Cool.
I have a bunch of new pieces that Natalie just sent me that I have to read through and decide which I'm going to work on. She
Fun.
sent me about 5 different pieces.
Oh,
She knows
how
what I
cool.
like, so
Yeah.
and she knows my level, so she kind of gave me a bunch of classical pieces to look at.
Do you remember what a few of the prospects are?
I have to look at my phone.
Ooh.
But the short answer is yes.
But focusing mostly on classical.
Classical. So one of
Cool.
them is one of them's by Piazzolla, Tanti anni prima. Voyage à Budapest.
Oh, I don't know that one. Who's the composer of that?
It's a Hungarian dance.
Oh, whoa.
So, and it's a theme and variations.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an arranger?
So she sent me a new one today of that one. One of them is just gypsy songs. Let's see. So Voyage à Budapest, Basile
Yeah.
and Moulin.
Here it is up here. Who do we think? Let's watch this young lady. Cool. Fun. Neat.
That's actually the arrangement they sent me, I think.
Cool.
That's
okay.
it. Yeah.
Fun.
That's cool.
And yeah. So that's what I'm going to be working on, figuring out what I'm going to play in August.
How fun.
So that's my
You have so much going on.
story of my life. Yeah.
How about you, John?
Well, let's see. I've been studying with Dallas for 6 years, and we've been exploring different musics from around the world, which is so much fun. But the thing that that I always do is look at music when I play, and so which is kind of ironic because the music I love the most is all improvised music, and but it's
The irony.
right, the irony of it all. But I've only come from a tradition of reading music, and so it's been a long-term goal of mine, which we're just now embarking on, is to learn improvisation, and which is super exciting to me because it's been building up for 65 years, and
You got a lot that has to come out.
oh my
Yeah.
God, a whole lot.
It's a slow burn.
In such
It's a long con.
such a short, limited amount of time left to be able to do this. But it's exciting, and because I'm kind of an analytical person, I'm breaking down. Okay, let's listen to let's look at this improvised piece, this improvised line, and what makes it work and what doesn't make it work, and analyzing the crap out of it. Whereas most people just come at it with more.
That's why
feel.
I can't improvise, because I have a music theory background.
Oh yeah, is that it?
All
Analyzing
yes,
everything.
all the
Yeah.
analysis. Yeah.
But it's super exciting for me. So we're doing that now. So I'm looking at a couple different standards and trying to. I thought a great way of doing it would actually be to compose improvised lines to start with.
Yeah.
So that I could understand what actually makes them sound good.
Definitely. Yeah.
And then and then the goal is obviously composing on the fly.
Yeah. Yes.
And of course I'm working with the best person in the world to do this with. So it's great.
So even in clarinet, no improvisation,
That's correct.
and even on piano,
The littlest bit.
the littlest bit. Okay.
Yeah.
You just seem so like you
Yeah.
understand all of it. So it's
Yes.
surprising to me
Yeah.
that you haven't had that experience. That's
Yeah.
cool. And then John plays out at least once a month.
I
at
do,
a,
yeah,
at a
yeah.
local open mic.
Yep.
Do you have any new tunes or plans or
Yes.
goals for that?
Well, the question is, can I start playing this kind of music with the smallest amounts of improvisation in the beginning and then build it out over time?
Oh yeah.
And so that's that's really the goal right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
It is fun.
And we were talking maybe the three of us could get together more regularly.
I was gonna.
Sure.
I was gonna.
Oh, sorry, I
say,
took the words right out.
No,
of your
no,
mouth.
it's perfect. It was a perfect transition, or great minds think alike. But you guys should come again,
Yes.
and we should jam again. I think it was a big success.
It was
with
It
you
really
guys.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So much fun.
yeah. So for all the people, like, I've borrowed a term from somebody I know to call this all vernacular music, which I think is maybe the best terminology for this, versus music that is composed and then performed, like where all the notes are set. Vernacular music meaning all the music is where you make up your accompaniment and you really make up the way you're going to play the melody and all that sort of stuff, and fills and the arrangements and stuff. And that's a lot of my audience out there, is either people who want to exactly play jazz and swing, or they want to do jamming type of stuff, vernacular music. Yeah, and so you can do it, everybody. You can totally do it. Our big discovery
I
is
can do it.
cool. Well, I want to wrap up your segment so I don't keep you guys here all day. You can go enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Any parting thing you want to tell the viewing audience out there?
I think this is great. I've had such a wonderful day, and this is, I don't know. I just feel like this whole thing, it feels good. I hope you all feel good. It's a good vibe. I hope that comes
Yes.
across. I think it does, just because I know Dallas, but like I don't know. What a community. It's a community building. I love it.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
like attracts like, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy
Happy
Pride.
Pride.
Yeah.
And happy belated birthday, Dallas.
Thank
Oh,
you very
yes.
much. On Thursday was my birthday.
Thursday.
Yes. Thank you guys.
We would sing to you, but
Yeah.
we're done.
Yeah.
That's okay. I appreciate it. I know it would be.
Everybody. Happy birthday to you.
No,
Happy
no,
birthday
no.
to you. Come on. Happy birthday, dear Dallas. Happy birthday to you.
Yay. Dallas, there it is.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna put on a video while I help you guys collect
Okay.
your whatevers. Yeah. Let's see. Where is my playlist? Here. I'll be back for the second hour, where we'll do some more cool stuff. Let's see. Let me find my. We watched that one out. Let's see. In the meantime, check out the great Daniel Benelli on bandoneon. I'll be right back, everybody. Cool. You're welcome. The mic is muted.
Okay.
Oh, only mine are muted still.
Okay.
Now yours is off. I mean, this music is really beautiful. I just want to kind of move on to another idea. Hey, everybody, welcome to the second hour of today's live stream. I was able to get Jess and John downstairs. They're fine. But just wanted to be a polite guest and give them a hug goodbye and all that kind of stuff. That was really fun. They basically just said, because I brought both their accordions down in my car because I drove down. And I kind of suggested to them to go to New Orleans. I said, well, why don't you just drop your accordion? Get your accordion to me somehow because I'm going to drive down there from Pennsylvania. And then you don't have to worry about it on the plane. And it makes flying so much easier if you do not have to bring your accordion. So they did. And there's such nice people that after the camp was over, they texted me in a group text and they said, hey, we want to hang out. We want to either take you out for food or bring food over and jam and hang out and stuff. And we were looking at dates, and I this date was available of the dates they suggested because they're both coming to my house from about an hour away in both directions. And so I said, well, if you come on Tuesday, you guys could be live stream guests and we could talk about all that kind of stuff. So it was really fun. They came. We had some delicious like Thai food or Malaysian food. I think Malaysian food. And then we jammed. It was really, really fun. Especially, it was interesting because neither of them come from a tradition, like they said, of they're both wonderful musicians. And Jess is an incredible professional vocalist, and she runs choirs and is an educator and just a lifelong and is amazing, accomplished pianist and all that stuff. But just not in a tradition of jamming, especially on the accordion. So it was fun to kind of just start to go, okay, how what are we doing? And my approach is just to say, okay, well, somebody play the left hand for the groove, somebody play the right hand groove, and then somebody else play the melody. And then let's just keep repeating the song and just pass it around. And that's a great way to start. And we end up doing something very similar to that at Django and June in the accordion classes. So that way everybody can get a chance to play and try the ideas. And then I can hear everybody do everything and hear how you're doing it. But anyway, in terms of jamming with other accordion players, this is something that I find that I think I would say almost all accordion players, if you cannot already like jam with other accordion players, you want to do that. That seems to be a very universal desire. And why not? I mean, it's playing music with other people. It's really, really fun. And one of the things that I find with newer people that I need to establish early on is the idea that we want to think of the roles in the band, the different roles that you could play. You could play the melody, you could play the accompaniment, right? And that's kind of it, and then there's various versions of the melody. So you have like the real melody of the song, and then you have an improvised melody, like in the case of jazz or many other vernacular music styles where you solo, right? And then accompaniment takes all kinds of forms also. But anyways, okay. So let's see. Other things that I wanted to talk about on this live stream. So in a moment, we're going to get into the Pride celebration. Just a couple YouTube videos on honestly, because I had the thought, I was like, shoot, it's Pride Month and Pride Weekend in New York City, which is a really big deal for New York and for all LGBTQIA plus people, all queer people, however you want to phrase that. It's a very important thing community-wise. And it just happened in my town, Bethlehem, where I live. Pride weekend was last Saturday, but I was out of town doing a gig, which is my little segue to this interesting thing. So here, this is the bass button for my Victoria accordion. Let's see if I can put something behind it. There. Will it meter? Yeah. So it's not supposed to have this bend in it. This is a bass note. You can tell it's a bass note because it only has one little arm coming off. And I haven't tried to repair it yet. My first move is going to be to send a picture of this to Gabe at Potosa, who is my preferred, favorite, trusted repair guy. He's a really, really good friend of mine. And because of that, I know he's like a super good guy. And he's really, really smart and has a really high bar for what's good work. Like Gabe's quality level is very, very high. So you're going to get a great job. He's really honest. He's really, really smart. He's also an insanely good musician and a really cool guy. But so my first move is going to be to send this photo to him, which I haven't done yet, and say, can I fix this myself? And he'll either say yes or no. And if he says yes, he'll say, tell me how to do it. Or will you walk me through on the phone? And he might, because he's my friend, although he's very busy. And if he says no, then I'll probably call Gennady, who's local, and see if he can fix it for me. And I'll watch him do it. That's what I always try to do, is when I take my accordion to get repaired, which happens because I use it, and that's what happens with things, they break. I try to watch, and so I can, like, is that something that I could do? How hard is that? You know, what do you really need to do here? Not because I want to do it, but just because it saves a lot of time. I'd rather not drive an hour this way, wait, pay him, drive an hour back, you know, all that kind of stuff. The cool thing is it's like the lowest bass note on my accordion, like lowest meaning all the way to the bottom. And this popping out didn't like leave any doors open, which is cool. So that's good. Now, how did this happen? Well, I have a new car because my old car died on the drive home from Django and June. I think I mentioned this on the last live stream. So I have a new vehicle that's a lot better vehicle. It's a lot newer. It was the most expensive car I've ever bought in my life by far, but hopefully it'll last a long time. Anyways, so I had never traveled with my accordion in this minivan before. So I thought, where should I put it? I don't know. I thought I could seatbelt it in. And the only accordion case that I have that's a soft case is, anyways, I ended up like buckling the accordion into the seat as though it was like a human being or whatever. I made sure that the lap belt didn't go over any piano keys or buttons or register switches or any of that, and it was fine. I checked it every time I stopped. I checked it. But in order to do that, to make sure that it was like fitting properly, I had like unclipped the little clips that keep the two sides of the case together. And it was such a long drive to get to this gig, and we were in a time crunch mode. It was like pull up, load in everything, set up all the gear, sound check before this time, because then that's the end. We only had about 40 minutes to load in and sound check. And anyways, it was fast. So I just wasn't thinking. And I took it out, and it stayed on my back for about, 20 steps or something inside of the unsecured backpack case. And then on that 21st step, it just fell out. And I thought, oh my God, and I was originally booked. I ended up playing keyboard and accordion on this gig on Saturday, but it was like, I was booked first for accordion. It was like, accordion. Oh wait, no, they want you to play keyboards also. Okay, I can do both. So it's like, oh my God, did I just is it gonna be, and no time to fix it or open it up or anything like that. But luckily, all that happened that I know of so far, because I haven't opened it up, is just this thing bent, which is just kind of wild. Bozkim is asking, who's the local tech? Local where? The most local person to me is an hour away for accordion repair stuff, which in the U.S. is pretty close, honestly. Not even New York City has very few dedicated accordion repair techs, as far as I know, as of my newest information. And I think LA, there's not too many, even in our biggest cities. I have learned where to go, and that's how you learn who's around, But anyway, that's kind of an interesting thing here. Is there anything else on my list of stuff? That was a little story I wanted to share. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I think it's going to be as easy. I'm hoping it's going to be as easy as just really trying to straighten this out, using something that's extremely flat, like maybe an aluminum level or something like that. Something that I have a pretty good idea that is at a true flatness. Although unfortunately, I should be able to do it. And then just putting it back in, and then I imagine because it is bent, it might take some little adjustments. But hopefully, because it came out, it means to get it back in will be really easy. I hope. We'll see. It is at the very bottom. I'll take some photos or video, and I'm sure I'll fix it this week. But this happened on Saturday. I drove half the day Sunday to get back. Yesterday, I was not feeling good at all. So I just kind of had to rest and stuff. But I'm feeling much better today. Okay, any other things? This Anatole Mooster concert was really incredible. I loved that. Okay, so why don't we get into today's second segment, which is going to be on queerness in music, which I thought is good. I think let's acknowledge queerness exists. Gay, bisexual, there's gender identity, there's sexual identity, all that kind of stuff. Pride celebrates, I think, a lot of those things, all those things or whatever. They all kind of fall under this umbrella, originally called Gay Pride when I was a kid, and now it's just Pride, and the whole thing's expanded. Anyway, it's Pride Month. I'm a member of the queer community very proudly, and so many of my friends are, and my other friends are very much into that and accepting of the queer community, and I assume everybody out there watching is as well. So happy Pride to everybody out there, even if you don't consider yourself a member of the queer community. I have not fact-checked either of these history videos. We're watching them. I'm watching these. I kind of skimmed through and checked them out for the first time. I thought it would be a neat thing to just watch a couple short YouTube history videos on queerness in music, especially like notable and famous music throughout history. I thought might be kind of a neat thing. So I have this video prepared, which is about classical music composers who are LGBTQ+. And with no further ado, let's check this out.
Some of the most beautiful classical music that was ever written was written by queer composers who defied society's harshest norms. Hi, I'm Chris with a K, and welcome back to the channel. This week in queer history, we're going to be celebrating the birthday of legendary Baroque composer George Friedrich Handel. And how are we going to celebrate? With a list of the top 15 queer classical composers, of course. And if you stick around to the end, I'll share how learning about these composers deepened my connection to classical music and to myself. So let's get into it.
This week in queer history, stories told with love and
Number 15, John Cage. A radical innovator, Cage challenged every convention of music, from prepared pianos to his famous 4 minute and 33 seconds of silence. It's bizarre, but yeah, you should definitely experience it once. His relationships with both men and women reflected his avant-garde approach to life. His long-term partnership with choreographer Merce Cunningham was also a defining element of his creative output. Number 14, Franz Schubert. The master of the art song, Schubert's lieder conveyed deep longing and melancholy. Music historian Maynard Solomon has suggested that his lyrics and personal letters indicate an attraction to men. His inner world remains a subject of much debate, but his music speaks of profound emotional intensity. Number 13, Samuel Barber. Known for the heartbreaking Adagio for strings, Barber was an openly gay composer in a time when discretion was often the norm. His relationship with Menotti spanned decades, and his music is often filled with lyrical intensity, and it reflects a deep emotional sensitivity. Barber won 2 Pulitzer Prizes, solidifying his place in American classical music. Number 12, Giancarlo Menotti.
I'm not that familiar with
An Italian
Giancarlo
composer
Menotti.
and lifelong partner of Samuel Barber, Menotti revolutionized opera with his...
I have to say I'm not familiar with Menotti. I feel like I should know about him. Is anybody in the chat already familiar with Menotti?
Pulitzer Prize-winning works, The Consul and The Saint of Bleecker Street. He founded the Spoleto Festival in the United States and later expanded it internationally. Menotti's bold storytelling and lush compositions continue to captivate audiences today. Number 11, Friedrich Chopin. long celebrated for his romantic relationships with women, particularly writer George Sand, Chopin's letters suggest a more complex story. Some historians argue that his correspondence with Titus Wojciechowski reveals an intense, possibly romantic attachment. And whether or not he acted on these feelings, his music is filled with longing and tenderness, which totally speaks of deep emotional complexity. Number 10, Francis Poulenc.
All right, well, Chopin, okay. One letter? I don't know. But perhaps. Poulenc.
A composer who blended wit, melancholy, and deep spirituality, Poulenc was one of the first openly gay composers to find mainstream success. His works range from the playful La Mamelle de Tiresias to the deeply religious Dialogue de Carmelite. Poulenc never hid his sexuality, balancing his devotion to Catholicism with his personal truths. Number 9, Leonard Bernstein. A larger-than-life figure in music and activism, Bernstein composed West Side Story and brought classical music to the masses. Though married to Felicia Montelegre, he had numerous relationships with men, embracing his identity more and more later in his life. His passionate conducting style and his advocacy for civil rights, and his influence on American music culture cement his place as a queer icon. Number 8, Aaron Copland. The quintessential American composer, Copland captured the spirit of the United States with Appalachian Spring, rodeo, and fanfare for the common man. Though intensely private, letters and accounts reveal relationships with men, including artist Prentice Taylor. His music, often associated with the grandness of the American landscape, was revolutionary, both for its modernist approach and for the life Copland lived behind the notes. Number 7, Benjamin Britten. One of the UK's greatest composers, Britten revolutionized 20th century opera with works like Peter Grimes and The Turn of the Screw. His music explored themes of isolation and psychological depth and queer identity. His lifelong partnership with tenor Sir Peter Pears was central to his life and to his work. Britten composed many of his most famous pieces with Pears' voice in mind, and together they founded the Aldeburgh Festival, which remains a cornerstone of classical music. Number 6, Ethel Smythe. A fearless
That was beautiful. I'm familiar with Benjamin Britten's name. I wouldn't have been able to tell you a composition that he composed, but the beauty of that, it almost sounds like neoclassical, or I'm not quite sure, but the neotonalists or whatever the genre is called. And Smythe, what is her first name? I'm not familiar with Ethel Smith or Smythe. Let's see. Smith. It looks like Smith, but who knows? Let's hear this. This was gorgeous. This is cool. It makes me want to learn more about these composers.
Together, they founded the Aldeburgh Festival, which remains a cornerstone of classical music. Number 6, Ethel Smythe.
Smythe.
A fearless composer and activist, Smythe shattered gender norms in classical music and beyond. She was a key figure in the women's suffrage movement, composing the March of the Women, which was an anthem for the cause. She was open about her relationships, too, with women. She was romantically linked to the suffragette leader Emmeline Pankhurst, and later fell in love with Virginia Woolf at the age of 71.
Power couple.
Her music included the powerful opera The Wreckers, which remains a testament to her defiant spirit.
Cool.
Number 5, Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky.
Is this Peter?
One of the most emotionally evocative composers of all time, Tchaikovsky's works like Swan Lake, The Sleeping Beauty, and The Nutcracker are beloved worldwide. Yet beneath the grandeur of his music lay a life of personal turmoil. As a gay man in 19th century Russia, I mean even today Russia, but 19th century Russia, he endured a deep inner conflict and he tried to suppress his identity and he entered a disastrous marriage that only lasted a few weeks, but his letters suggest passionate feelings towards men. His pain and longing permeate his music, particularly in his pathetic symphony, which is often interpreted as a coded farewell.
Okay. At first I was like, okay, I can trust this YouTuber's pronunciation, but that's pathetique. Okay, no, we cannot take pronunciation from this YouTuber. However, also, once again, I have not fact-checked this, so some of this seems like it's like just implied from letters. I wonder what more thorough historians would say. But it's cool. I want them all to be queer.
Number 4, Friedrich the Great.
Yes.
More than just the king of Prussia, Friedrich was a philosopher, a military strategist, and a passionate musician. He composed symphonies and sonatas for the flute, often performing them himself. Friedrich's relationships with men, particularly his intense bond with Hans Hermann von Katt, have led historians to explore his possible queerness. Though he eventually married for political reasons, his heart seemingly remained elsewhere. His court was a haven for intellectuals, artists, and composers, including Johann Sebastian Bach's son, Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach. Number 3, Arcangelo Corelli.
That's cool. I haven't checked out Corelli's personal life at all, but I have listened to a lot of Corelli because of my interest in the Galant schemata and all that sort of stuff. Corelli is one of the important early Renaissance people. And what a name, Arcangelo! That's your first name. That's so cool.
A master of the concerto grosso and a leading violinist of his time, Corelli was one of the key figures in Baroque instrumental music. He moved in artistic and aristocratic
Corelli's music is
circles
crazy.
that included Cardinal
so good.
Pietro Ottoboni, a known gay clergyman, and other patrons who supported sexual fluid lifestyles. While details on his personal life remain speculative, his deep friendships and associations suggested that he thrived in a world where queer identities were not uncommon. His music, defined by its elegant melodies and dramatic contrast, continues to be celebrated today. Number 2, Jean-Baptiste Lully.
Cool. It's interesting that there's all these Baroque composers at the top of this list. That's interesting. Lully also super badass.
A pioneer of French opera, Lully's music defined the extravagance of Louis XIV's court. His works fused Italian and French styles, shaping the future of ballet and opera. Lully's personal life was equally theatrical. He was known to have relationships with both men and women, and despite his strategic marriage to maintain his status, everyone sort of knew. His influence on Baroque music was immense, though his career ended abruptly after he accidentally stabbed his own foot with a conducting staff, leading to a fatal infection. Number 1, George Friedrich Handel. Born on February 23rd, 1685, Handel was one of the greatest composers of the Baroque era. He was known for masterpieces like The Messiah and Water Music. Heard of them? Handel never married, which has led to speculation about his personal life and relationships. While concrete evidence about his sexuality remains elusive, he moved within vibrant social circles that included influential male figures. Which sparked debates about his queer identity. Maybe? Handel's work reflects a profound emotional depth. His oratorios and operas often grapple with themes of love and loss and redemption. Handel's story isn't unique, though. His ambiguous sexuality is part of a broader legacy of queer composers whose music and lives broke boundaries. When I was a kid, my mom had this old record player in our living room, and she would let it spin for hours and hours on the weekends. I can still see her fingers gently putting the needle down on the record, and that faint crackle as the record came to life. And I didn't know any of the names of the composers back then, but just that feeling of each record. And my mom would close her eyes and I can see her swaying to the music. And I didn't realize it back then, but those records planted a seed in me, one that would grow for years. And I wouldn't even recognize it until later when I stumbled into my first college music appreciation class. It was my freshman year, and the winters on campus were brutal. I'd shuffle across the icy paths with my red wool scarf wrapped around my neck, and I'd rush to my 8 a.m. class, and the lecture hall was huge. It was just almost too big to feel any kind of personal connection, but I'd climb up those concrete steps and find my seat. And
Okay. Oh, we went through the list. Thank you, YouTuber. Let's see. What is this person's name? Doesn't say their name here. The channel is called This Week in Queer History. Yeah, that's all we have here. But thank you very much. I have a couple more, LGBTQIA plus people or queer people in music videos, much shorter than this one, to watch. But before we do that, let's just watch an accordion video here. Let's see. I have a few things we could check out. Let's see. Yeah, a few more things. Let's see. What do I have down at the bottom here? We checked out that and that. Let's check out this 3 minutes, 20 seconds video of Yannicka and his band, his normal cymbalom player, keyboard player. We got a violinist. I'm sure this is going to be killing. Okay, I just have to pause it, and I'm looking at his bellows. I'm like, is that a portrait of him also like wearing the red tracksuit like on the bellows right now while he's wearing the red tracksuit? Maybe he's just like wearing a red shirt. Or maybe that is not him on the bellows, but I want it to be him. Really cool harmonies. Yeah. Oh, what a bop. Hora Luluni is how I would say that. Cool. All right. We're coming up on the last little bit of the stream. Let's continue with our little Pride Week and Pride Month acknowledgement. I have two much shorter videos on like queerness and gayness in jazz music because I didn't want to do an exhaustive. How are you gonna do an exhaustive about queerness in music? But just a little bit to get us to think. I mean, I'm surprised that Mozart was left off of that list. Honestly, about famous LGBTQ classical composers, because I thought that Mozart was bisexual, I guess. Anyways, here's the first one. So again, my disclaimer, like I haven't fact checked these. This one's not maybe the best, like most entertaining video, but should be cool. This is from Zame Clements Hall, and they are going to be telling us about the birth of LGBTQ musicians in jazz, the 1920s and 1930s.
Hello everyone, my name is Zane Clements Hall, and I'm coming to you live from my living room. This is the start of my incredibly geeky podcast on LGBTQ plus music history. This is also probably the gayest history podcast you will ever listen to, both because of the subject and the person recording it. Well, although my primary field of study is Jewish history, I'm also very passionate about music history, specifically LGBTQ plus music history. So, without further ado, let's get into it and start geeking out. Our story begins in the year 1917, with a young black girl who loved to wear her brother's suits. This young woman would move from Philadelphia to Harlem in 1923, at the age of 16, and become one of the most prolific performers of the Harlem Renaissance. Her name was Gladys Bentley. If that name doesn't sound familiar, it's because her fame was eclipsed by her contemporaries, Ma Rainey and Bessie Smith. While Ma Rainey and Bessie Smith were more traditionally feminine, Gladys Bentley continually wore suits throughout her performance career. Perhaps her masculinized lesbian persona is the reason she's hidden from history. I mentioned Ma Rainey and Bessie Smith earlier, so now let's move on to their stories. Their stories are linked, so I'll tell them together. Ma Rainey, the mother of the blues herself, was born in Columbus, Georgia on April 26, 1886. Or possibly in September 1882 in Alabama. We don't really know. Meanwhile, Bessie Smith was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee on April 15, 1894. Rainey, who took her stage name from her husband William Pa Rainey, was openly bisexual and addressed her bisexuality through her music. Her openness about her sexuality and her relationships with women most likely contributed to the end of her marriage in 1916. During her travels, Rainey met Bessie Smith, who was also openly bisexual and became her mentor. They met around 1912, and it's commonly believed that they began a relationship at this time. However, Smith soon began to outshine her mentor, recording and touring regularly until 1928. The Depression caused Smith's career to decline. As a result of her declining career, Smith began binge drinking, which is never a good idea, and she never recorded another song after 1933. She also took a 3-year hiatus from performing, but eventually returned to the stage in 1936. Sadly, she died in a car accident in 1937, which is a real bummer, and cut her career short. Her one-time love, Ma Rainey, passed away 2 years later in 1939. A prolific jazz musician who drew inspiration from Ma Rainey and Bessie Smith was born as Eleanor Fagan in Philadelphia in 1915, but she was better known as Billie Holiday. Although she began performing in 1928, Holiday first achieved notoriety in 1933 when she was discovered by writer and producer John Hammond. Holiday was also openly bisexual and was able to have a successful career through the 1940s despite her sexuality. However, at the height of her career, Holiday became addicted to drugs, slowly deteriorating after multiple arrests, until her death in 1959. And on that depressing note, we conclude episode 1. Woohoo! My next episode will cover the transition from jazz to rock and roll in the 1940s and 50s.
I'm curious. Okay, Little Richard. Let's see. I want to see. Let's see. Okay, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Little Richard. Those are the only two here. Okay. All right. And then my last video that I had, let's see. Dulcimer? Wait, I'm so confused. 44 Architecture. You talking about the Romanian music? Because your comment came in to us like way into this 19s, 20s, 30s LGBTQ musicians and jazz. Okay, here's the last video, which is...
Welcome to the...
I had two actually from this channel. What was the other one that was cool? Let's see. James Booker from New Orleans, yeah. It was this one. Okay, 4 black and gay jazz musicians. All right, let's watch the Billy Strayhorn and Aaron Bridgers.
The Black Gay History Channel. Please share this video and subscribe to this channel for more captivating content. Jazz musicians Billy Strayhorn and Aaron Bridgers had a long-lasting friendship and intimate relationship throughout the 1930s and 1940s, at a time when jazz music and Bill Strayhorn's career was taking an upswing in American and European culture.
It's a cool photo.
The two artists had a relatively public relationship in the jazz music scene during the time, and from 1939 to 1948, the two would live together in an apartment in Manhattan. 315 Convent Avenue, to this day, is still considered a historical LGBTQ site in New York for the time the two spent there. Though the couple separated and eventually Bridgers would move to Paris for better work opportunities in music, their love of the city, Paris, kept them connected in that friendship. Paris, France was seen as more accepting of a place for gay romances and even race relations, and many black gay artists throughout the 1940s, 50s, and 60s moved there to get away from the blatant homophobia and racism they knew in the States. Jazz pianist Aaron Bridgers is quoted commenting on Strayhorn's love for the city of Paris, stating, "From his high school days, Billy was a Francophile. He was fluent in the language and was thrilled with every trip he could make.
That's cool.
In Paris, nobody cared who you were or what you were. There was no judgment. That's one reason why Billy and I loved it here." In 1961, lifelong collaborators Duke Ellington and Billy Strayhorn would team up in Paris to work on a music score
I definitely don't want to make light of the subject matter and the truth that, for many people who were marginalized by civil rights, inequality in the United States, Paris was a much freer place. I still have to acknowledge that there's a very much implied joke that in Paris you're not going to be judged. That's the joke. I mean, come on. If we know anything of the French and of Parisians, they will be judging you.
For the jazz film Paris Blues, which starred Hollywood icons like Sidney Poitier, Louis Armstrong, and Diane Carroll. When not working with Ellington on set, Strayhorn would head to the Mars Club, where Aaron Bridgers would be playing piano.
Cool.
Aaron Bridgers would also take part in the film Paris Blues and has a few scenes playing the piano in the film as well.
Oh, cool.
It's clear in the photos that these two took together that Bridgers and Strayhorn were popular and beloved by so many of those around them, and I'm sure their relationship had to have sparked interest and questions from others they worked with, especially since they were both well known in jazz circles. Bridger moved in questions.
Them together.
Sparked interest and questions.
The photo editing or video editing is kind of annoying, but that's cool. Billy Strayhorn, there they are. That's cool.
Questions from others they worked with, especially since they were both well known in jazz circles. Bridger moved to Paris and stayed, and it seems Strayhorn, though he visited frequently, never made the permanent move. What would it have been like to endure the pressures of being two black gay men living together in an apartment in the 1940s? And was that part of Bridger's decision to move to France? Although I have so many other questions, it truly warms my heart to know that such an iconic black musician at such a pivotal time in American history.
Look at Billy Strayhorn. Timeless. Like, timeless. That could have been taken in the 80s or something. Like,
was able to share his connection with his friends.
Cool. All right, I like that. All right. Fun. I don't know the pianist Aaron Bridgers before this. Let's see. Is he on this one? I don't know. That looks like Sidney Poitier on the saxophone there. I want to hear him play. Aaron Bridgers. Let's see. If I just don't do Paris Blues, if I do. So there, we just heard Aaron Bridgers on the piano right there. Okay, Aaron Bridgers, they say rhythm. Okay. What's up, Carmen Ooch? Happy Pride to you, Carmine. You're at the end of the stream. We're just checking out queer musicians like Aaron Bridgers. Alright, well, I can't play too much of that because it's probably been uploaded to the streaming services, and then this portion of the live stream will get muted for everybody, so we won't listen to that. Is there anything left on my playlist that I wanted to watch that we didn't? Anything else cool? I mean, I guess I can always save it for next week. This is cool. Yeah, that's good. I think that's good. Why don't we wrap it up? Wrap it up for today. Thanks so much, Carmine. All right, I'm going to wrap it up for today about 5 minutes early, but we were right on time here. Thanks, everybody, for watching. A big thanks to Jess and John for swinging by the studio here today in person. I do teach at risingread.com, and you can hit me up right now for private lessons. I will be starting up group classes again, probably in July, to learn jazz and other forms of vernacular music, and also every week I teach at least one live group class for just a mere $20 a month. You could have 4 hour-long classes with me and some other wonderful people on accordion technique and relaxation. Last week's class was very much about just really bringing our hands to the accordion, very, very relaxed, and sort of over practicing relaxation, and then finding our technique within and inside of that relaxation. We're also working through Jacques' different articulations and making the beautiful rainbows and control of the great Pablo Casals, and applying this to other musics and all sorts of good things. Looks like the rain stopped here. I'm gonna go connect with a friend of mine who I haven't seen in a minute tonight, and also pick up the CSA. I didn't forget about the CSA update, but with Jess and John being here, I couldn't pick up the CSA before. I did read what we're getting. We're getting mint and blueberries. Those are the two things that seem very exciting in a CSA. And of course, romaine, I think a squash, some other kind of green, maybe chard, I don't know. Anyways, we're loving it. From my very humanistic heart, love and kindness and compassion to everybody out there, and extra amounts of that to everybody who understands themselves in Pride celebrations today and this whole month, and always. Go play some accordion for some people, jam, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday for more of the same and similar and good stuff.